Okay. You got it. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It is, ¿está hablando? It is 5:10 p.m. We're going to start with the roll call, please.
Dr. Vilches,
Here.
Ms. Lopez,
Here.
Mr. Keelis.
Here.
I'm here. Mr. Koss. Ms. Dunn.
Here.
Ms. Hanson. Ms. Hernandez.
Present.
Ms. Shoei.
Here.
Mr. Rodriguez. Ms. Destiny Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Pablo Gonzalez.
Here.
Mr. Von Morelli. Ms. Pina Colon. Ms. Sue Merlos. So 10 present.
We have quorum. Next item in the agenda is approval of the LSC agenda.
I have a question.
I need to open the discussion. No,
I second the
I would
motion.
like to present a
Oh.
motion to approve the agenda as submitted. Ms. Dr. Vilches, second the motion. So open for discussion. Go ahead, Ms. Dunn.
I was wondering if we could move the fundraising and internal accounts training updates, they'll take about 5 minutes, to the top, so as we go through those things, we have more clarity on how they're being approved.
Anyone else? You wanna move the
There's just,
fundraising?
pardon me?
Do you wanna move the fundraising?
I just want to share what I redid the training on fundraising, internal accounts. And I just wanted to share the 3 slides that I took down that we have questions about usually as we go through.
Any other comment?
No,
No?
I mean, I would agree with her, because I am leaving earlier. If there's any approval of something and they need my vote, I would say that they should move whatever needs to be voted up front.
It's just 3 slides that show what the training says, like in terms of how you approve fundraising within the building. I shared it with Dr. B before the last meeting, that it has to be the principal and the network chief, and then Dr. B shared the last time that the network chief wants the LSC. And I just have 3 things, like what we need for budget transfers, what we need for fundraising, and what we need for internal accounts. Just so that we're clear as we go through it, we don't have any disagreement as to what's called for. That's all it is.
We have that, or
It's under new
we
business.
have that after the reports.
That's just once they add an item to the
That's
agenda, no?
3
I just
o'clock.
want to move it to
It's
the
here,
top.
principal report, LSC fundraising accounting reports for Dreamer Alliance.
No, it's under new business.
Oh, you wanna move the new business before the reports?
Before we go through all the budget transfers and the fundraising, so everyone's clear on what the proper procedures are.
So it's the second to last page. So she wants to move the new business, she wants to share the training updates. Where do you
I
want to,
see.
Just before we start the fundraising and the internal accounts, any of that business. So we can approve the minutes, we can give the reports.
I reshared the slides again to the thread, so everyone has Ms. Dunn's slides.
So the motion is to approve the agenda as submitted in a second.
I would like to present a motion to present whatever budget or reports or something that needs our vote, because I am going to leave earlier.
Right.
So you would have enough people to vote on it. I mean, that I would like to put it before public participation. And I don't disagree with what you're saying, but
Right.
that way we get everything
move.
out of the way.
Okay, so,
So I think we should look at
the slides
hers first and whatever she said first, and then we
Right.
go to move whatever proposals are there.
Okay.
okay, so in order to do that, we have a motion on the table to approve the agenda submitted, so we have to,
Bring it down.
we have to break it down to move forward.
Okay.
So go ahead, Mr. Caputi, roll call for vote.
Dr. Brochus,
No.
Ms. Lopez,
No,
Mr. Keelis.
No,
Vote no. Ms. Dunn,
No.
Mr. Mandis,
No.
Ms. Shoei,
No.
Destiny Johnson.
no,
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez. So 10, no.
so who's going to present the motion?
so I'll present a motion that all proposals be put before public participation and then the slideshow afterwards. Is that
The slides will be before it.
before? Is it
Because
long?
No, it's 3 slides. It's
Okay,
super-
okay.
5 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
okay, I second the motion. So open for discussion, so I assume we discussed already? Okay, close discussion and roll call for vote.
Dr. Brochus,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes,
Mr. Keelis.
Aye.
Vote yes. Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Mr. Mandis.
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson,
yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez. 10 yes, 0 no.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so with that said, we continue with the adoption of the previous LSC minutes. So first one is the January 10th, the regular meeting.
I motion to approve the minutes for the January 10th meeting.
Ms. Dunn, thank you, Ms. Dunn. Anyone second?
I'll second it.
Mr. Quiles, thank you. Open for discussion. No discussions. Roll call for vote to approve January 10th LSC meeting minutes.
Dr. Brochus,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes,
Mr. Keelis.
Aye.
I'll vote yes. Ms. Dunn, Mr. Mandis,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson,
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, and Divine Valdez.
motion passed. Next item is to approve May 9th special meeting. Anyone who like to present the motion?
Oh, I present the motion.
You want to present the motion? Okay, Dr. P. Anyone who like to second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Shoei. Open for discussion.
I don't remember getting those minutes.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Mr. Caputi, can you answer that question?
I think she said she never remember getting the minutes. That wasn't a question. Yeah, we didn't get we don't have those minutes. And also, I think that was a regular meeting, not a special meeting.
I don't know. So do you have those minutes? Mr. Caputi, do you have those minutes?
No, we've discussed this several times. I was not present at that meeting.
I wasn't either.
So whoever was
Are those the
Taking
minutes that are
minutes at that
online?
meeting,
that
right.
No,
have to
no,
be
no, I got it, I remember. Those are the minutes that I proposed to get them approved using the video, and the LSC members rejected to approve them.
The recording's online.
Right, it's public already anyway, so.
The minutes.
But I presented to the LLC, to approve it that way, and it was rejected, so I don't know at this point what we can do to move forward.
Well, I think if it's already online, it's public, why not approve it and continue? Because that's holding back our work.
Our functioning, yes. Okay, close this.
Sorry, it's hard for me to type.
No, don't worry. Go ahead.
I just, I'm not against it. I just worry there's a request for minutes. If it's not a printed copy, it's funny to just have a video version, so for someone to go back and check the minutes. And I don't know if that's a precedent we want to set, or we just henceforth, I don't have, video minutes. So that's what I worry about, because generally minutes are documents.
So he's
Go
saying
ahead,
for
Michelle.
bookkeeping
Wasn't it
person.
during those special COVID times where we had special approval
Yes,
and
yes,
there were lots of special circumstances throughout all of the meetings?
right,
So video was an
the
acceptable
way
form.
we were approved.
Yeah, so that's what
Any more comments? No more comments?
I would like to say something, we are bombarded left and right, no matter what we do. And I think that the best thing is to, we all have seen the video or not. I can't myself, I would abstain because I wasn't at that meeting. So, there's something that I can't say yes to it. I wasn't there. But I think, to move forward so we don't continue with this back and forth of minutes being approved or not being approved. It's not that the council doesn't want to approve it, it's that the idea of having a video or not a video. I mean, even if it's on paper, it's online, so it's the same thing. I mean, that's my opinion.
So we can just move forward because we
We need
still
to
in the
move
hole
forward. We
with
need
this
to move
stuff.
forward.
And I'm just like, this is my first time coming back and I don't want to keep doing this. Like,
Right,
let's move
wasting
forward.
our time.
Wasting somebody's time.
I'm fine. I'm always trying to find a side of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm never against anything. But I think then we have to at least, I'll make a note, or going forward, if the secretary, I missed, that was the only meeting in 2 years I missed. Going forward, there should be protocol that if the secretary is not there, one of the things that needs to be done is to identify who's going to take the minutes in that person's stead. Hold to it, stick to it, because I don't want this to,
I
I
agree.
worry it's going to get sloppy.
I
There's going to
agree
be a
with you.
lot of documents that are not
See you later.
good.
I mean, that's
Okay,
that's
so close discussion and roll call for vote, please.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
I
I'll vote yes.
abstain.
Ms.
You abstain?
I have
Wait,
to
wait, wait.
abstain because I wasn't
He
there.
abstain.
I'm sorry.
I'll vote yes. Ms. Dunn?
One,
Hernandez?
two.
Abstain. I wasn't here and I haven't watched the video. So
Ms. Shoei?
But it's already
I,
online.
yes.
Ms. Johnson?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Gonzalez? Ryan Valdez?
Sandra.
It's just,
Okay, so motion didn't pass. Those minutes are not approved.
Okay.
So we continue with the next item in the agenda.
How many votes?
We only have 3, 4, How many votes do we have, Mr. Caputi? I think like 5.
Well, we had 3 abstentions, there's 10 present, so that would be 7. Yes,
Yeah, we missed it by 1.
Right. Okay, so it's not approved. So we move forward. What's the next item in the agenda then?
All right.
So the next item is, Ms. Dawn,
I
is
just
next?
want, so on the third slide, it talks about, the fundraising, and we had this conversation at our last meeting.
I'm sorry.
I know
It's
hard to see, but anything that's
It's
done
me.
within the building has to be approved by the principal and the network chief. You can see there's no.
Sorry.
box.
You see it?
That's okay.
That-
I don't have it printed.
But I know that our network chief has expressed that she wants the LSC to at least have heard about it. So that, and then the rest all have to be approved because they're outside. And then on the 5th slide about budget transfers, it just talks about how we need 9 members to approve it, and that they have to be between the same funds, and if they're Title I, it's gotta be approved by the PAC. And then, the other part, we had no disagreements on, and then the last part with the internal accounts, it talks about what we need to have on slide 7. We're supposed to be provided with the bank reconciliation report, the cash receipts journal, the cash disbursement journal, and the summary trial balance. And I'm just sharing it because that's stuff that I didn't know until I went back and I redid the thing. So I'm just sharing what I found about those 3 things that we had comments on in the
Yeah.
past. And I know Mr. Caputi had some questions about it.
Well,
So, I have one question. So you're done with the presentation? Okay, so go ahead, Mr. Caputi.
amongst teachers were asking, we inquired with CPS, and it looks like there was, back on October 11th, a transfer discussed for $161,000 plus. That was voted down, but it looks like that transfer occurred anyway. And we were curious about that. There was no quorum in December, and there were 2 transfers proposed on that agenda that seemed to have happened. One for $12,000 and one for JOTC for $1,380 that weren't discussed because there was no quorum or voted on, but those seem to occur. And then from last July to mid-January, there's about 30 additional transfers that occurred that were brought up at meetings or discussed or voted upon. So we're just wondering how these occurred or how this happens.
So, can I?
No, no es parte de la agencia. Okay,
There's clarity.
There's over hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Transferred without any voting on it.
I could provide, like, I can speak to this presentation.
well, we're running against time.
Yeah.
And it's gonna take time.
Yeah.
No, there's no
No.
motion. Yeah, okay.
There's no motion,
So
it's a
it was a
question.
presentation. There is no motion on the table. So we give the opportunity to Mr. Caputi to express the concern to bring it back, but we have to move forward with the agenda, and we have to go to the next item on the agenda.
Which is the budget.
So we can
transfer.
hear it as a comment, that's okay, but we cannot discuss anything because we don't have any motion on the floor. So we move to the next item.
Proposal.
With the next proposal
Oh, the budget transfer.
and the back, yes,
Because you moved up the budget transfer.
yes.
Back.
Mr. Caputi, I think that would be good to put it on our next, get on the agenda, so that way.
We can
We
add it
talk
to
about
the
it.
agenda,
Okay.
If it's an agenda item.
that's-
right.
I can
Yeah,
include it
to
in my
discuss.
principal's report because there's it says internal counsel, I can talk to
Okay.
internal.
If you
counsel.
want to touch it that in your principal report, that's okay.
That's okay.
All right, so the budget transfers. Oh, okay. First budget transfer, I make a motion to transfer a total of $424.80 from IB line 46291-124-53405, 111-084-00, 2239 to 46291-124-53305, 11084-00, 2239 to purchase IB graduation silk.
Which one are
So
you?
Dr. Benches,
F, budget transfers.
F.
Oh, I see.
so does anyone who like to second the motion?
I second the motion.
Thank you. So open for discussion? No discussion? Close discussion, roll call for vote?
Dr. Vilches,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny
Yes.
Johnson,
She said yes.
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Divine Valdez. 10 yes, 0.
Okay, motion passed. 10 votes, next item.
Motion
Next
to,
proposal.
oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Motion to transfer a total of 99 cents from miscellaneous line 46291-115-57940-119-035-000575 to various budget lines listed on document for 2024-001 for STLS, building maintenance and supplies. That includes the STLS cost for their luncheon because it's a day event, STLS graduation supplies, copy and paper supplies, and building maintenance, repairs, and improvement supplies.
It's fine, right? Okay. So anyone who like to second?
I second the motion.
Thank you, Leslie. Open for discussion? No discussion? Close discussion, roll call for vote?
Dr. Vilches,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
I'll vote yes. Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson,
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez.
Yes.
10 yes, no.
Motion passed. Next motion, next proposal?
Motion to transfer a total of $2,000 from ROTC equipment line 46291-115-55005, 113-119-000-575 46291-115-53405, 113-119-000-575 to transfer ROTC equipment money line to purchase ROTC supplies.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Open for discussion? No discussion, close discussion, roll call for vote?
Dr. Vilches,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez.
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
I'll vote yes. Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson,
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez. 10 yes, no.
Motion passed. Next motion?
Motion to transfer a total of $7,000 from transitional math and English, transitional miscellaneous line 46291-115-57940, 119-035-000-575 to various budget transfer lines listed on the document number for 2024-002 to support enhanced learning for transitional math and transitional English. Bus for transitional math and English classes going to Roosevelt University, bucket pointer line for transitional math and English teachers, and benefit pointer line for transitional math and English teachers.
I second the motion.
Thank you.
Look, we gonna keep saying it. Sure. I'm just trying to get out of here.
Well, I have to encourage my LSC members to get involved. Open for discussion?
I have a question, Dr. B. The 6,500 for the bucket pointer line, what does that entail? Like, is that
For tutoring,
teachers?
Yeah,
the after-school
Yeah,
program?
so this is money that's provided as part of CPS for any class that offers, for any school that offers transitional math or English classes. So they have several categories of how they can allocate for field trips, buses to colleges, for a teacher to provide tutoring after school. You have to create a benefit pointer line and another line. Give me one second. So yes,
So
so
the
for tutoring,
65 is for the after-school tutoring?
yes.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr.
Is
Capucci.
it after-school tutoring just for transitional English or math? I think we have after-school,
No, it's specific to transitional math and English.
just those.
Yeah.
Is there a tutor selected?
Yes, so it's all the teachers that teach a transitional math. It's, well, I don't want to disclose, but it's teachers that treat, in the master schedule, you would see our transitional math and English teachers.
They're all tutoring after school?
This is what they chose to allocate the money because according to CPS, if no one else wants to allocate it, that they can allocate it for tutoring after school.
Those teachers are staying after school and tutoring?
And it only is those teachers, they have to have a transitional math or English class. Like a teacher that teaches geometry, if they don't teach transitional, they can't use this. This is specific to those courses. And CPS is very strict about what it can be spent on.
So why is it separated out for the 6,500 and the 153.50?
Because you have to put benefits and the pointer lines, they're different pointer lines.
Okay.
Medical, insurance,
got it.
like you get your salary and then your benefits.
Mhm. Makes sense.
Okay, so clause discussion, roll call for vote, please.
Dr. Vilches,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Aye.
I'll say yes. Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Destiny Johnson?
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez? And Frank Valdez?
Okay.
10 yes, 0 no.
Okay. Next motion.
A motion to transfer a total of 196 and 87 cents from miscellaneous line 46291-124 57915-2561060000320 to 46291-12453405211-210000320 to purchase paper and supplies.
I second it.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Open for discussion. Clause discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Yes.
I vote yes. Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Destiny Johnson?
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez? Ryan Valdez? 10 yes, 0 no.
Next motion.
Motion to transfer a total of $300.02 from Youth Risk Behavior Survey line 46291-324-57915 to 21077 580-2352 46291 324-53405 221-077 580-235 for allocating the CDC HIV prevention budget to purchase supplies for YRBS.
Anyone who'd like to second the motion? Divine? Thank you. Open for discussion.
What is YRBS?
Youth Risk Behavior Survey. So our students complete the survey, and then they allocate like a survey line, and then the counselor allocates it for like anything that's related to youth risk behavior, HIV. Not condoms are already included as part of the screen. So like things like that. So Ms. Ocampo looks at what is needed in the counseling office to support with youth risk behaviors to make sure that they're making
Ethical decisions.
safe decisions about their bodies and health.
Thank you.
Okay. Close discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Aye.
vote yes. Ms. Dunn?
Yeah.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Destiny Johnson?
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez?
I like
Divine Valdez? Yes, no.
Next motion, next motion, the third.
Oh, motion to transfer a total of 487 and 82 cents from vending machines miscellaneous line 46291 124 57915 256 106 322 46291 124 53405 215 392 320 for building maintenance repairs and improvement.
Second.
Joey, thank you. Open for discussion.
I hear the students are very excited to finally make these fixed. That's my discussion.
Yeah, and so we have to buy it. So just so you're aware that the school is responsible for buying paint, keys, anything that, otherwise it's whatever. It's available like in the basement. Otherwise, if you want the colors to match when you're tidying up something, you have to spend money on supplies. So keys or things that have to be made, it has to come from the school budget, like the fields.
So the vending machines have to come from them.
So we're using, so that we can buy some paint. We need more keys for the new staff. So we have to pay for all of that kind of thing. If we need screws or
So these are not going to fix the vending machine.
no, but if the vending machine isn't working, then I can notify the company.
Oh.
I'll make a note of it.
Sorry.
Call discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Aye.
I vote yes. Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Destiny Johnson?
yes.
Pablo Gonzalez? Divine Valdez? Yes, no.
Motion passed.
Motion to transfer a total of $2,196.76 from Skyline Physics line 46291 370 55005 113029 499 824 to 46291 370 53405 113029 499 824 to purchase supplies for physics Skyline.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Open for discussion. Close discussion, roll for vote.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Aye.
I'll say yes. Ms. Dunn?
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Destiny Johnson?
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez?
Yes.
And Divine Valdez? 10 yes, 0 no.
Go ahead.
Motion to transfer a total of $2,236.76 from Skyline Chemistry line 46291 370 55005 113 112 499 824 to 46291 370 53405 113 112 499 824 to purchase supplies for chemistry Skyline.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Open for discussion.
Yeah, I have a question. All these proposals, have they been already transferred?
No.
That's
Yeah.
the question. That's it. Thank you.
No, so you'll notice that the Skyline ones are here, and this goes to the point that was made. So principals were instructed when it came to tier 2 money and Skyline money that it didn't require a certain, certain approvals. And so now, just to err on the side of caution, I included because I talked to, who did I talk to? Like just kind of just to be err on the side of safety. Now I'm just putting all the Skyline ones there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Close discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches?
Yes.
Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
Mr. Keelis?
Aye.
I'll say yes. Ms. Dunn? Ms. Hernandez?
Yes.
Ms. Shoei?
Yes.
Jessica Johnson.
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez. Brian Valdez. Yes,
Ten.
sir.
10 votes, motion passed.
Motion to transfer a total of 1,980 from STEM seminar fee subscriptions line 46291-115-4505-1250230000327 to 46291-115-53405-1250230000327 to purchase supplies for STEM Fest.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Open for discussion.
What am I purchasing for? Are we purchasing, like, equipment? Or like posters, or,
It was,
or it's tomorrow, right?
yeah, so I kept it on the agenda. I asked her if she she still needs the supplies, I guess, so she's gonna try to see if she can get some last minute things, but I don't think it's gonna come on time. It's tomorrow.
We don't really know what she's planning.
Okay. So, any more questions? Close discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches.
I abstain.
Ms.
Just go to
Lopez.
Festus tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
I'm in favor.
Mr. Keelis.
Mr. Keelis?
Stay.
I abstain. Ms. Dunn.
I abstain.
Ms. Hernandez.
Abstain.
Ms. Shoei.
I abstain as well.
Destiny Johnson.
Abstain.
Pablo Gonzalez.
It's not going
Brian
on.
Valdez. So 1 yes, 9 abstentions.
Motion failed, right?
Yes. Okay, next one.
Oh, the next motion.
So we go back to report.
You have a motion?
No, I still have the internal council motion,
You
right?
don't have any other?
Yeah, you have to, needs a vote. And this one here needs a vote. The fundraising, selling of
Mhm. So the- do you want me-
proposals.
So here's the motion to approve. So just to circle back before, when you receive the internal counts from me, you'll notice it's 21 pages because it's all of the things that are listed there. So at the top, you'll see like this is the reconciliation report. So every email when I send out to the LSC, it includes the PDF. The balance sheet is included in there. So you can see here when you guys get the email.
We saying it. ROTC.
So the balance sheet can be several pages depending. There's the cash release journal, so that's there. So here is the cash disbursement journal. The general journal is included there. The summary trial balance is included in there. And then there's more. So I don't send them as separate. So what I'll do is I'll have it scanned as one big document. So you guys have it as a PDF. And so whenever I send the agenda, it's the PDF that's attached to the email with the breakdown of all of the internal accounts. So you have access to it. So motion to approve the internal accounts as sent to LSC for review.
A second.
Open for discussion.
I have a question. So I'm ignorant. I'm not sure how to piece these documents together to see if things are matching up. Can you give me some help on that? Like, I don't know how to take the reconciliation report and the balance sheet with like, and make sure they balance. Or everything's on the up and up. I mean, it's not because I
Yeah.
distrust you, I just, I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing when we're gonna approve this.
Sure. So the first thing tells you, so these are all the different accounts that are open. Some of these accounts, so any account that's created in the CPS system, I guess in the internal accounts, will live there for many years. Before me, after me, you'll see that some accounts are there for a long time. So those are the different balances for the different accounts.
And that's on the reconciliation report?
No, this is the first one. This is the first document. This is considered the reconciliation. So actually go here. So you see all the accounts, the balance sheet. So these are all the different accounts and the balances. So whenever there's a fundraiser, whenever there's a donation, whenever there was something that was created, it goes into the balance sheet and you can see how much is on the checking account, cash on hand, the money market. Those are by CPS, managed by CPS. And then you can see what checks have been cut, like the scholarship checks that are issued when we have to, like universities. So you can see there. So you can see there's a lot of accounts because it's a high school and it's been open for many years, so they're still there. And then you can see the cash receipts. So this is all the money that's taken in for student fees, bus cards, graduation, the different payments students make. Keep in mind that kids can pay their student fee in payments. So that would be the ledger for anything that's taking cash on hand. So you can see the breakdown there. And the different days that are taken to the bank. And then you can see the summer trial balance. And the balances, if there was any activity, it would be recorded there.
So the cash disbursements are what we pay out, the cash receipts journal is what we take in, right?
So we issue, like, for example, when we have to pay for non-conference officials, we would issue a check. That would come out of the internal accounts based on one of the accounts, right? The sports account. Whenever there's a fundraiser, when we're ready to pay out whatever it is that we collected money for, there would be a check based on that account.
So that's the disbursements, right?
Yeah, so that would be reflected in the disbursements. But you would also see the cash on hand because people were collecting cash. You would also see it in the balance on hand. So,
Okay, and then the summary trial balance?
which is that one right here? Oh, those are just the beginning balance from when it was created to the total debts, total credits, ending balance. Like, for example, if you look at ELs, it's at 000 because there's been no activity in that account. Computer education, the 355.49 has been there for, I guess, since it started. And I know that Ms. Ford and Ms. Jackson said if anyone ever has questions about internal accounts or how to read it, they're more than willing to come out and support an LSC with that process. Oh, sorry.
Any other question?
And you have access to all of the internal accounts. So if you wanted to see like the changes over time, you can just print out all of the different internal accounts from every month that I shared. I don't do the reconciliation, so CPS does the reconciliation. So it goes in through the Oracle system and then they process everything and like the ticketing system. So that's why it takes a little bit longer to get the most current one. And their processing time is a little bit delayed because now we have the new digital ticketing system, so they don't process it as fast.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Caputo.
Do students vote on approving internal accounts? Are they expected to process this information? And
It should be.
According to what what they shared with us previously, that yes, as long as we're not voting on contract or Personnel matters said that they could. And they mean they've been.
So you're saying that the students.
That was our understanding. I mean, they were here when they voted for, LSC Relations was here when they voted on the internal accounts for those months. I think Ms. Ford would have said something that month.
They are being changing all the stuff.
I mean, unless they changed it, but Ms. Ford was here, Ms. Jackson was here when students voted.
Wait, I have a question. With some of the budget transfers that seem to have gotten made without LSC approval, there's many of them over the past 6-7 months. Would they appear in these internal accounts somewhere?
No, that's different. Depends on the budget line.
Most of
Where is this
the
thing?
accounts that you were talking about, Mr. Caputi, are from the other budget, not from the internal accounts.
Do you get to see that?
Yeah, so if you go to the school website, I uploaded the budget presentation and it had all the different budget lines. So remember last year, when we voted for the budget, it tells you how much money was put into every line. So there's 370, there's 115, there's Empower, there's SGSA. And then when I had to take screenshots and I copied and pasted how we created the budget lines. For example, one of the things that keeps coming up is like staff PD food line, right? So you'll see that budget line was already created and approved for X amount of dollars. So if you go back to the school improvement, if you go to the school website and you download it, you'll be able to see all the different budget lines that were created and approved back in when we approved the budget last year. So it depends. And so each budget line, depending on CPS criteria, like tier 2, tier 1, then there's the back to school money. The back to school money doesn't require, like there's certain lines that don't require LSC approval as provided, as we were told in our trainings. Like for example, Skyline, but now I'm adding Skyline just to err on the side of caution. So we didn't put those on there because it's specific to Skyline. That's not SBB, that's not school-based money. That was provided for schools that adopted curriculum. Tier 2 money is not SBB money, that's specific to instructional needs of core instruction. And it showed you in the presentation how we allocated that budget. Then we talked about Empower money. So Empower, when it comes in, is specific to the priority group that Empower designates as the need. And I have to use ISB approved vendors, and that's for them for how to determine and how, for use. And then they allocate in those lines, and then those transfers are made by me filling out a Google form when it comes in. They say, oh, okay, here you go. So, and that was shared a long time ago with the Empower, and we talk about it with the CIDP team. Yeah. So if you look at the original budget presentation, you'll be able to see all the different lines, all the staffing lines. If you have any questions, you can reference how much was allocated in all of those lines.
So I'm here on this, I'm looking at the first sheet. Why do we have the number, why do we have on here like 6/10/22? Like why does it go back that far?
It goes far back as many years.
So when they give you the reconciliation report, they go back?
We don't take anything off, Ms. Dunn.
No. I'm just wondering, like, that wouldn't be stuff that we would even have approved.
Exactly.
So those are some of the nuances that are hard because I don't know what happened in 2022. I don't know what happened in 2005 when these some of these accounts. So, but they keep it on the reconciliation and.
Right, so if you, like, let's say that we wanted to have a senior event and we ordered food from Chipotle or from Little Caesars, and you wrote a check for, I don't know, $800, $200, would that show up in here?
Sometimes they do, depending on how they do the reconciliation.
Because that's, I guess that's where I get lost, is what is actually in here opposed to not. Like we have, like you said, for officials, they're on here, but for other things, I'm wondering how determine what goes on here and what doesn't.
The CPS does the reconciliation. I wouldn't be able to answer that to my the best of my knowledge. I just know that I put in Oracle, the reconciliation request, CPS processed the document, I download it, and I share with everyone for review.
So my last question, so some of the transfers that we voted down or that were on the agenda where there was no point, we didn't vote at all, that occurred, they wouldn't be in this.
Uh,
Go ahead, Mr.
Mr.
Diaz.
Capuri, one of the things is that if it wasn't approved, the LSC chair is the one that's supposed to sign that. And I believe she's very aware that she doesn't sign nothing that wasn't approved by the council.
Some of the documents came to us and said that these budget transfers went through, and the reason Mr. Cody was asking earlier is one of the ones that we voted down went through.
Yeah, if it's not signed by the LSC chair, it wasn't approved, it wasn't approved by no one, so it's a questionable kind of a document. So if anybody has a document that they say that it went through, it's good to bring it up so we could look at it, because I believe if it's not signed by our chair, because once we approve, that's what she has to sign. Other than that, she can't have the authority to sign something that it wasn't approved by the council.
And keep in mind, the ones you're talking about, remember, that's the staffing issue. That was that error that CPS made that we talked about back in the beginning, where they were going to take it regardless because of the 28th day numbers and the encumbrance that happened and the error in Oracle systems and the transfer. So we talked about it. So we said, even if it didn't, I had an obligation to present it to the LSC, but those positions had to be opened again because there was an error in the switch from the old system to the new system. So that's why it was a big amount, because it's a lot of salary, I think it was 2 salary positions. So, but that was discussed back in the month when it happened.
About transfers made, for budget transfers proposed in agendas when we didn't have quorum. Those shouldn't occur, right, if there's no quorum, because there was no vote.
No, to the best of our knowledge, it shouldn't.
Internal accounts. Okay. So we need to move forward. We're gonna lose one LSC member. There is any other question? No? Okay, clause discussion, roll call for both internal accounts.
Dr. Vilches,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
I abstain, Ms. Dunn,
I think.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny
Hold on.
Johnson,
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez. 8 yes, 2 abstentions.
So motion passed, right? So motion passed. So next motion,
Motion to approve fundraising, selling of chips, candy, water, soda, Gatorade, and other snacks to support senior prom. Yes, supported by JROTC.
thank you, open for discussion. Close discussion, roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches,
Oh, yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Mr. Keelis,
Aye.
I'll vote yes, Ms. Dunn.
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson.
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez, Divine Valdez.
Motion passed.
Oh, one more. Sorry. Motion, guest speaker, Mr. McHenry, Student Voice Committee, fundraiser, motion to approve fundraiser, student restroom facilities, improvement project, sale of snacks to generate funds to purchase improvement supplies.
Open for discussion.
What is the student restroom facilities improvement project?
So, they have a student voice committee, so they meet and then they identify priorities. And so they want to collect money and they want to work on, the students of that committee want to work on restoration of the bathrooms of the facilities.
Not like fixing the toilet seat and the door.
Beautification.
Right? Okay. Making it smell pretty and flowers on the wall. Okay.
Close discussion. Roll call for vote.
Dr. Vilches,
Oh, yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Or Ms. Keelis.
Aye.
I want to mess that up. I'll vote yes.
Oh, did I say it? Sorry.
Ms. Dunn,
Yes.
Ms. Hernandez,
Yes.
Ms. Shoei,
Yes.
Destiny Johnson, back, Pablo Gonzalez, Ryan Valdez. Cancel.
Well, we do.
She went to the bed.
Yeah, she went to the back. Wait.
How
We
many do
have
we?
no other.
How many do
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9.
we pass?
9 yes, 1
votes.
abstention.
That was it for me for motions.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, council members, I have to step out. We'll see you next month.
It's a 5 p.m. Thank you, Mr. Quiles. Have a good night.
Hope so.
So, what was the next item in the agenda? We go back to the report, no? We go back to the reports.
No public participation. Mm-hmm.
So we continue with public participation. Mr. Capuri, can you please read the email?
Yes. Hello, my name is Walter Bresky. Here I am again asking for the documents from a FOIA request of the Steinmetz LSC related to the internal account documents given to the LSC by your principal at the October 2023 meeting, and another FOIA request for the last 2 years worth of internal account documents. Neither request has been responded back to me, as it's been 6 months with no reply of the documents from the Steinmetz LSC FOIA officer or the LSC. Why? The CPS FOIA department stated in the CPS FOIA request that they don't have these documents, and it's the Steinmetz LSC's responsibility to respond with them to me. It's my understanding that these internal accounts documents were sent to each LSC member via email by Steinmetz's principal, so why can't the LSC respond with them to me? The internal accounts are public funds, and according to Illinois law, they're FOIA-able. Your FOIA officer told me the following to the first FOIA request, quote, in that case, the FOIA request is null to the fact the information is restricted to be shared with the public, end quote. Do these documents actually exist? If not, then the LSC shouldn't be approving any internal accounts without first going over them. Both the internal accounts and budget transfer documents need to be scrutinized before the LSC votes on them. Otherwise, budget transfers like a $4,000 in-catered food for teachers and staff on basically a half-day professional development day before winter break, and $9,000 for a 1-year subscription football coach's software will be blindly approved by the LSC when that money can go for something truly needed at Steinmetz. It's still puzzling why the last LSC didn't approve $4,000 in art supplies at the end of the 2021-22 school year, when 99.99% of all transfers were approved up until that point. That's it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Capuri. We move to the next item on the agenda, which LSC chair report. I need to let everyone know that even though we vote to keep our SROs, the board is gonna take over a vote and they are gonna be removed. So I've been working with another LSC chairs and 2 aldermen who are been trying to return the authority of the LSC to make that decision. and the benefit of their own schools, but apparently it's a decision made by the board and they are gonna be removed. So what I'm trying to say is that even though we voted to keep them, CPS has decided to remove them. And the LSC is gonna lose that authority to keep them. So I'm doing my best. I'm still working on that, but I cannot promise that we are gonna keep them. And that's all my report.
Okay.
So next item on the agenda is a teacher's report.
Oh. Yes, teachers report. Feel free to add anything if you want. We're in mid-April. It seems like bathrooms can always be improved, but they're getting a little better. It's springtime. I have, in particular, I have seniors who've been looking forward to senior events. We have hall sweeps going on in the hallways, which I hope can kind of be continued and normalized and streamlined. It's at least an effort to help control the environment a little bit, so I think that's good. We don't know if the locking will happen. I know some, again, students have been asking about that as senior events happen. That's all I've got.
That's all. Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is a staff report, but Mr. Rodriguez is not here. So we move to the next one, which is athletic director.
Ms. Russo gave me it to read.
Yeah, I haven't done. Okay, so we continue with the athletic director report, and Ms. Dawn is gonna share the report. Thank you, Ms. Dawn.
She starts out, sorry she can't be here, she has a home softball game out front. She wanted to let us know that, if there's the conclusion of winter sports and that the boys basketball team finished undefeated in their conference. They made it to the Elite Eight of the Blue Conference playoffs. She wanted to congratulate the team and Coach Dowling, Sellers, Hannah, and Oliver. And they ordered championship t-shirts to commemorate their conference win. The team also went on a trip to see DePaul men's basketball team take on UConn at Wintrust Arena. UConn actually won the national championship on Monday, so they got to see them. The spring season has started. It opened on February 26th. It includes girls soccer, girls badminton, girls track and field, girls fast pitch softball, baseball, which is co-ed now, boys track and field, and boys volleyball. There's a new badminton coach, Coach Santana stepped up. He's a cadre sub here at Steinmetz, and the badminton team is currently 2-1 this season with 2 home games this week. There was one today and one Friday. Steinmetz hosted its annual April Fools Relay this past Saturday, April 6th. We hosted 10 schools, public and private, from around the city. We made $540 in gate ticket sales, and this money will go back to the Track Cross Country Fund for future meets, uniforms, and equipment. She wanted to thank the coaches, Coach Marquiso, Bagdonis, and Reyes, for their hard work and dedication to our school and students. We have another meet coming up on April 27th. Sports administration from CPS has reached out to see if we can host the city championships as we have in past years. They know we have a wonderful facility and a great team. It'll be up to admin if we choose to host these meets. At the meet, the boys track, shot put, we got 3rd, 10th, and 12th, discus 7th and 13th place, long jump 3rd and 9th, triple jump 4th and 6th place, 4x100 3rd place, 4x200 1st place. In the girls track, Steinmetz placed 3rd over in the discus, 3rd in the shot put, and 2nd in the triple jump. Sports administration from CPS also has asked us to host many Saturday games this fall. They see that they appreciate our facilities and the staff that works here, and that again will be up to admin. Playing at home would certainly save us money for buses for our own flag football team. So I'm assuming that's what they reached out for us to host flag football games. Other spring sports results so far, the baseball team is 6-5 and 1-0 in conference. They play today at 10. Badminton is 2-1 overall. They play at home today versus Kennedy. Softball is 0-1. They had a tough loss to Von Steuben, 17-18. They're home today versus Schurz. Soccer, they're 2-4 overall and 0-2 in conference. Boys volleyball, varsity is 4-1 overall, 3-0 in conference. Sophomores are 2-1 overall, 2-0 in conference. They're home today versus Chicago Academy. In terms of budget items, the freshman boys basketball uniforms, all new uniforms were ordered for the freshman and sophomore levels. The players were able to wear them before the end of the season, and they looked awesome. Winter fundraising, end of season totals, ticket sales for basketball games through hometown. Boys basketball, they made $611.52. Girls basketball, $372.65. Total of 15 games was $984.11. There was no charge for students with an ID and digital ticketing. There were 3 season ticket holders for the boys, 1 for the girls. Tickets reports are sent to the principal and the budget manager immediately after each game, and there's no cash that passes hands. Total basketball fundraising this year between Northwestern volunteering and ticket sales. For the boys, it was $2,491.52, and girls was $2,157.65. For the buses for the fall, the total cost was $9,035.50. Winter season, $8,485. Total to date was $17,520.50. She said that she's very concerned about funding for next year because without the availability of Northwestern volunteering for fundraising, we're going to have to be very creative with fundraising for our athletic needs. She also states that our fields need to be taken care of. Both the baseball and softball fields are desperately in need of dirt and clay to make them playable. This could cost a lot of money that we do not seem to have. I've reached out to OSA to see if they can help. Our fields are a total gift, but we need to continue their upkeep or we will not be able to use them down the road. Fundraising on a larger scale may be necessary. Snap Raise is still not considered an approved vendor as of her AD meeting this afternoon, and we cannot seem to get a solid answer as to whether we can use GoFundMe. We will continue to research all of our options, including setting up a booster club. She's working with Chick-fil-A to set up a fundraising night. They're shooting for May 15th with the Chick-fil-A on Harlem and Norridge. Once that's solidified, she'll reach out to other restaurants like Chipotle. The money raised would be considered a donation to the school. So according to LSC Relations, we can proceed without an LSC vote, but we want to make sure that you are all informed of every step along the way. In terms of applications for next year, she was given a list of next year's coaches. Some short conversations have been had about the positions, but there's been no final decision, but there has been progress. There have been weekly meetings between Ms. Pierce and Ms. Russo every Monday, and they've worked through issues of keys and access to facilities, coaching positions for this current spring, and they're still working on hiring for next year. That's it.
Any questions? A student's report.
No. You got a student report?
A lot of students were voicing concerns about the new tardy policy, and they were wondering if first and second period are considered like excuse for the students who live really far or the students who have jobs.
Thank you for sharing that.
I have a question. When did the no tardy policy become effective?
So there was always a policy We didn't have an attendance coordinator. We lost an AP, and we've been going. Deans have been in and out, so it's been hard to implement the policy. And I think it was previously written with percentages. So now that we had an attendance coordinator and we've been collecting data with the hall sleeves, looking at what's sustainable in terms of making sure that we're still being responsive to students' rights and responsibilities, following due process, and still being able to have the manpower to execute if we do issue consequences. In terms of restorative conversations, detentions. So over spring break, they tidy up some of the language based on what's realistic for the team, where we're at, the manpower. And then we shared it with the staff, and we're working on the one pager that we're going to share with the families. It's being translated. It's been the same. It's the student code of conduct. It's just much more clear and concise. And we're getting it to like where a one pager where we're going to share with the parents. You want to see it?
No, I have, well, you can share it later, but I'm just saying, I think that if it, I guess I need clarity if it's already effective, because there's teachers that are already emailing parents saying that there's gonna be consequences if your child is tardy one more time.
Oh, there is.
So, yeah.
So there's an accountability piece. So now that there's that we have an attendance coordinator, we have 3 deans, so we have a full CCT team. We're able to execute on the consequence. So it's progressive in nature because it still has to follow the students' rights and responsibilities. So there are certain things that teachers have to do before it gets to the attendance coordinator. Before it's not like right away, here's a detention, right? And there's a difference between tardies to school and hall loitering or tardies to class. So we still have to talk to the student. We still have to follow due process. We still have to get to the root of the situation as to, is this a social emotional concern, or this is students that just are wanting to be in the hallway and are just being in the hallway, and once we put them back in the class, they're going to stay in class. Or is it like a situation where they're like, and so the, there is a piece where the teachers are going to be communicating, strengthening their communication with the parents to help triangulate the touch points as many possible. And once those touch points occur, they've had like restorative conversations like, hey, you're late. What's going on? Okay, I noticed this is happening again. It's time for me to call your parent. I would talk to your parent, and you continue to be. So now I've tried here, there, and there. So now I'm going to make sure I'm going to escalate it to detention. And students have to understand that it can escalate to multiple detentions if they do this with multiple teachers. So understanding it's not perfect. We're trying it. We're trying to be responsive to the concerns both by staff, families, students, and still make sure that we're doing due process. Like that's the key, is that if we can sustain due process, then we're not doing the rights and responsibilities. But that the calls are happening, that's great. Hopefully, because we know that like there's the bubble kids that we know that if they, not that they're in a bubble, but there's certain students that teeter totter. As soon as that call happens, they go back. Like they're not going to continue to test the boundary. So that filters. So now we can focus on like the ones that are like, well, you called, I'm still gonna be in the hall. Right. So that's a different follow up. That's a different touch point with, our team. So it's nice. But we will be sharing it. Right now it's tried and true, but a good point to make sure to share it with the parents.
Okay. Thank you. So does the back report?
Oh, here you go. So just sharing, no back, principals report. Oh yes. So the PAC, no back, the PAC update is here's the PAC, how they allocated the 5,608 and the different unit lines. So that's how the PAC met, and so they allocated it for those budget lines.
Okay.
And that's the PAC's chair signature.
Next report is APLC.
We don't have anything for PPLC other than if we could have the girls' bathrooms open during the passing periods, because now on the second floor, we have another stall that's not working. So if we only have one side open,
It's broken again? Oh.
There's one stall that I know for sure is broken, and the parent lady who's there, she's wonderful. She brings in soap, she brings in hand dispensers, keeps the kids moving, but with a broken stall, it's really like,
It's broke, okay.
other than that.
There is any recommendations in the curriculum?
No, we've been meeting with Dr. Lee, the PPLC and the PPC met with her regarding testing for next year, budgetary concerns towards curriculum.
But no recommendations in the.
Well, the assessment is
Related.
curriculum.
Yeah, we're gonna do the assessment meeting soon. We just talked about the different assessments, MTSS assessments. What viable curriculum is gonna be provided to us by the district, making sure that teachers are understanding that it's really about the standards. They still have creativity and, like I was sharing today, that the curriculum it's a vehicle. You can use multiple vehicles to get to a destination.
Okay.
I mean, having the curriculum is like getting there faster than walking. I mean, you can get to the destination walking. It's just understanding that the driver is the standard.
Okay. So the next report is the CIWP.
All right, so we met March 4th to update the CIWP. So we 3 priorities. So curriculum and instruction included some supported learning and connectedness and well-being. Let me see if I can play them. So you can see here that we're making progress towards our action items. Here's priority 1. So we still have some items in progress. There's some items that we've completed. And we're going to move into school year 25 planning. So we'll be meeting again as a CIWP. I'll send the invites for anyone that wants to attend to help support the writing of the breakdown of next year. But you can see some of the items were delayed. And then we have to just start it up again for next school year. And here is where you can see our baseline and where we're going. Let me just see. Oh, here we go. So you can see that for 3% increase on track, we're on track. Quarter 3, we haven't made any progress, and then we'll update it again in 5% increase for BOY, MOY, EOY. This is very exciting. So we're making progress on our benchmark for students that are tier 2, tier 3. So we're on track. So you can see that we've been updating each quarter.
So we move forward with the principal's report.
Yes. All right. Just some current enrollment, 1157. We're in the process of hiring a Spanish bilingual math teacher. One of our teachers retired back in winter. And so we found one candidate and hopefully she's moving forward. So it's in progress. We still have a DL teacher vacancy in the security. And then we would like to welcome our new AP, Mr. Simon. So that's a picture if you haven't seen him in the building. So just a recap of the new framework for school leadership, organizational leadership, instructional core, climate and culture, and talent. We met as an ILT to talk about the new rigor expectations for every school in CPS. Our school's focused on pillar 1, which is standards-based learning, and making sure that we're communicating what students can expect that day and how they can be successful in the classroom. So when we talk about learning targets, it's like, what am I doing? And how do I know that I'm going to be successful and that it's aligned to the standards? And then today I did a staff PD just to capture again and review the elements of the rigor walk. So if anyone's curious, I can share the rigor walk tool. It's every school is going through it. So if you see any principal saying rigor, it's because of the new framework that they're using. So it's standards-based student evidence, organizing students to achieve the standard and monitor to take action within the lesson. So there's 3 pillars to the rigor process. And these are the items. So our school is only focused right now on items 1 through 6, and we're chunking it out, so doing 2 at a time. just to help teachers support them through this process as they're continuing to learn about rigor and the new pillar system. And this is just, this is what we were talking about, like different cars, vehicles, standards, different. The goal is that we have IB learner profiles at the end. But notice that you can get there in multiple ways. You can take different routes. I mean, it may take some quicker, longer. Sometimes you go back to go forward, but the destination is the same and the driver should be the same. All right. Here's some pictures of our professional development that we're still having meetings and unpacking a lot of learning. So this is an image that captures Pillar 1, the heart of instruction. It was beautifully created by our assistant principals, Ms. Pierce and Mr. Seitman, just to create a visual to support with why this is important. So it's not an act of compliance, it's about really getting to the heart of instruction. And we've been focused on the new art and science of teaching and learning. We're almost at the conclusion of a PSAT competition in preparation for PSAT practice. It's exciting to see a lot of the students motivated to try to win or to get their minutes up. So they're excited about the minutes. And this is just, again, a recap of the framework for our professional development learning cycles that we've had this year. Right now, we are in assessment, well, really cognitive demands assessment. Post-secondary, we just had our FAFSA workshop this Saturday, so we're at 115, 4694. It did change, so, and they have extended the deadline because there's a new process for students. So it's not like last year. So there's been a delay with the FAFSA and how to get the keys and everything like that. So we've done several college exploration trips to UIC. We did the skills trade fair, Dominican University, Malcolm X College, so that they can see the different avenues of post-secondary. And right now they're still working on FAFSA completion and alternative applications for their Learn, Plan, Succeed. And then every other, and then Mr. Sandoval's keeping track with all of the other post-secondary metrics for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. So we've been doing financial aid workshops for our families just to help them understand the new process, because it's not easy. So making sure that they have support. We are in budget season and crunch time for programming. So the programming, you're going to see new courses, dual credit English, 102, Spanish for heritage speakers, 3, depending on enrollments. Dance, fitness, wellness, walking, switching from computer science to robotics because it has the same credit. Creative arts therapy, studio mixed media, music therapy, guitar 1, and mariachi. Everything's based on course requests. So the students complete their course requests, and then we see where the seats are at. Case managers and input to continue. They have the most input because there's certain federal requirements that we have to have for DL and EL students. So those are prioritized first in terms of like staffing allocations, what programs that they need to go to, how many positions we need for those. And so next year, you're going to see an increase in ESL bilingual sections across core and instead of specials, they're called holistic classes now. So you're going to see the term holistic. So now we're expanding bilingual and ESL offerings through holistic courses. So making sure that students are able to access learning with the proper language supports in our holistic classrooms as well.
So we offer robotics and also computer science, both?
Mm-hmm. Okay. And they both
they meet the same requirement?
Mm-hmm. So we met with department chairs and our ELPT, our case manager, and our counselor to go over the offerings before we put it out there for students. Sometimes you have to make adjustments, especially when the budget comes out, like allocations, and sometimes you think a course is going to have high interest and it doesn't. And so then you have to reallocate those numbers somewhere or think of a different course. So college preparatory classes that we're going to be offering: transitional English for STEM math, which is transitional math, AP US government, AP psychology, dual credit English 101, dual credit African American studies, dual credit medical terminology, AP Spanish, and DP classes. And then we've been enrolling incoming freshmen. So we get a sprinkle every day. We're sending our counselors out to support with our local neighborhood schools that have higher enrollment at our school, and they'll be supporting with registration on site. Domain 3 is culture and climate. So you can see our overall student attendance has increased from 75.3 to 77.3. Ninth is up by close to 1%. 10th is up by 2%. 11th is about the same. And 12th grade is up 3%. So you can see that we're moving, even with the students, we're moving in the right direction when it comes to attendance still. You can see the comparisons of last year to this year. In terms of tardiness, 1.6, because those are the codes in the Student Code of Conduct, and 2.2, we've had a decrease of 34% from school year 22-23. And you can see, and 2.2 leaving school without, I'll be fast. Leaving school without permission. What I like to see is 3.5 persist. We've had a decrease of a level 3.5, and we're down 73% from possession or use of tobacco, matches, and lighters. So we're making our culture and climate team is working so hard to make a difference, but those are significant decreases, and not because we don't report. We put everything into Aspen. They know that we're putting it into Aspen. And you can see 43% for using or alcohol or possession, and 22% increase. We do have an increase in disregard for the instructions of the school personnel, so that's up by 2%. And you can see the different behavior groups. But we're moving in the right direction. There are some things that we still have to work towards to be more proactive when it comes to behavior, classroom supports, and relationships. And so I have all the data here. And then we've been focusing on staff connectedness and well-being and doing different touch points with staff to help them feel connected. Led by our culture climate team, different events for our students, different professional development, awards assembly. There's our students. And then I was going to add the championship of our debate team. They made it to conference. Yeah, so Steinmetz was at conference. And then talent, we continue to work with staff to make sure that we have high retention.
So you go with your report?
Oh yeah, no. So like I was just with the internal accounts and budget transfers. Again, if there's questions about this, LSC Relations is available to support with any clarity regarding how to read the reports. Transfers, again, there's certain transfers that are made that are like 370 or what they call Skyline or Tier 2. I've been following the directives that were given to me regarding to CPS on how to move that money. So it's not that there's anything that's happening. Everything goes back to the students, to the staff. Everything is about staff connectedness and staff connectedness and staff and student and building relationship with families. As you can see, you can talk to any classroom. There's never been an increase in technology in the classrooms. Has there been since even when I was in AP? Since when did we have technology in the classrooms like there has been before? When there's a focus on making sure that teachers have access to high quality curriculum materials, that there's hands-on learning. We have robotics, not just exclusive to STEM, but we've expanded technology and robotics to all of our programs. So to create that interdisciplinary learning experience, we've tried to beautify the building so that it mirrors like what our students deserve in the community. So everything has been about making this school better for our students because they deserve to be treated like any other, just because we're supposed to be in the dumps. No, I refuse to accept that, and I'm not going to be party to it. And our staff deserve to eat during professional development days because they are professionals and they should be treated as professionals. They do a lot for our school, and the fact that if the board approves it and the money was allocated, then our staff should be treated as such. I value the staff. I value what they do. I value their contributions to this school. And for people to say that they don't deserve it, that for me is contrary to what we're trying to say about our staff. And if our students as well is, so because we're Steinmetz, we don't have to have clear touches in our classroom. We don't have to be one-to-one. We don't have to have the best technology. I want kids making stuff. It's great when I walk into like any classroom and I see kids making bags, shirts. it's the coolest thing ever just to see kids engaging with learning in hands. And for me, it's like, I was an AP here, and I know for a fact that technology was an issue here because I advocated for it. I advocated for our students. I advocated for EL students. We did a disservice to our bilingual students. We didn't even have the right certified teachers in front of kids. We didn't have textbooks for them. It was a fight to even get stuff approved. As the AP over ELs, I had to beg to get books for my EL students. And now they have books. Whatever I can get my hands on in terms of being able to make sure that our kids have access to content. So that's what, for me, it's a lot of people are going to say a lot of things, but as the principal of this building is that I can know that I could put my head down and know that I've worked hard to do what's best for the staff, the students, and the community. And I want to give the students the best. And if you walk the halls, you can already sense the difference. It doesn't smell like it used to. The bathrooms, hopefully with the new system, then we're gonna have prettier bathrooms. Right. I can't control that, but you better believe that I argue and I advocate every single day for it. So I want teachers to feel appreciated. I want students to feel connected to the building and to be proud of this building and to be proud of being a student at Simon. I want parents to say, wow, look at this. I went to report card pickup and I saw that same machine at Whitney Young and I see it here. Like, I want to make sure that our parents can see that I'm trying to We could just follow up with Gerald to see on that one. So I'll just read off. So the first, you can see right here, I've included in the agenda, just the LSC funding account for the Dreamers Alliance. Their profit was 466. The LSC fundraising accounting report for senior class was a total of 1991. The LSC fundraising account report for Greenhouse Dance was 765. And the LSC, oh, that one was canceled.
Oh, got it. Yeah, just see. I think that's it.
That's it for me. That concludes my section.
That's that. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Do you have anything else?
Oh, no, that was it.
That was it? Well. So we got set, it's time to adjourn this meeting.
A second?
I would like to present the motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:45 PM.
A second.
Open for discussion.
Have a blessed day. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you. So close discussion and roll call for vote to adjourn the meeting.
Dr. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez,
Yes.
Ms. Lopez, Ms. Dunn. Hernandez,
Yes.
Joey,
Yes.
Trustee Johnson.
Yes.
Pablo Gonzalez. Myra Valdez. 9 yes. 3 no.
9 votes. Our meeting is adjourned at 6:45 PM.